Had some Carolina music from Tom Sawyer before that with a Little Black Cat. I'm Reagan, taking over from Mike Garrett this afternoon for a special live edition of the Independent Artist Spotlight on 91.7 WSGE. Today, we are joined by Seth Walker, a North Carolina artist from just outside of Burlington. His music is tough to put into one category. It has elements of jazz, blues, and Americana. His latest album, Why the Worry, is WSGE's album of the month in May. He's in town holding an album release event at the Evening Muse in Charlotte tonight, along with another WSGE artist, Ed Jurdy from Band of Heathens. If you want more information about the show, you can find it at sethwalker.com. Welcome to the WSGE Studios, Seth Walker. Thanks so much for being here today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me, Reagan.
Tell us about the show tonight, because you're hooked up with Ed Jurdy from Band of Heathens.
Yes.
What can attendees expect?
Well, Ed and I are old friends from Austin days. I think I met Ed maybe, I guess it was maybe 2005 or something like that, back when the Band of Heathens were just getting together. And I guess around COVID, we both moved to Asheville. And so, I know you. I know you. So we're going to do a little, he's going to play a set at, I think doors are at 7. He plays at 7:30. He's going to play a set, and then I'm going to do a set. And then at the end, we're going to do some stuff together. And just, it's going to be the two of us.
Jam a little.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Sounds like a good night.
Yeah.
Your latest album, Why the Worry, is, as I mentioned, our album of the month in May.
So cool.
What is worrying Seth Walker these days?
Well, let's see. I got a big tour coming up next week to the Northeast. When I say why the worry, it's like I'm not saying I'm not worrying about anything. I just have my compass set to that frequency.
So we're trying to not worry about anything.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem to serve us, does it?
No, definitely. There's only so much you can change.
Yeah, it was inspired by Willie Nelson. You ever heard that interview with him when he's talking about that?
I have not.
Yeah, he just said, "I'm just going to stop. I'm just going to quit because it's not doing me any good." And that was kind of the seed. I wrote that tune with Oliver Wood from the Wood Brothers, and it kind of became the mantra for the whole record, and I take it with me when I go on the road because I need it.
I think it's a good mantra to carry along regardless.
It's pretty noisy out there, isn't it?
Noisy
it's just
right
like,
now.
God, God.
Mountains also seem to be a theme on this album.
Mm-hmm.
You're currently residing in Asheville or just outside the area?
Just outside a little town called Fairview, just up the hill from Asheville. Yeah.
And while you were working on this album, the catastrophic event hit that area, Hurricane Helene. What effect did the storm have on you and the creative process, the album, your life?
Well, I was there that morning. Not obviously, none of us were really expecting any of that, it just completely turned everything upside down. I mean, I was stranded up there in my house for about 8 days. The bridge went out, and I couldn't get out of there, and no power for about 6 weeks. It's crazy. So that turned everyone upside down, and I was in the middle of making this record, and I was just like, I don't know. There was a time where I was going, man, I don't know. I don't know if I can finish this. I got, just all of I didn't have a sequence. I didn't have a title. And I think to get back to your question, I think it helped me when I felt so hopeless and helpless. And it reminded me anyway that, there's service in the music, and that's how I could help,
Especially in the mountains.
Yes.
I feel like we maybe lean on music a little bit more when you're residing in an area there's less complications.
Yeah, I live out in the country, and it's beautiful, and so it helped, after the storm. It took me a couple months before I could kind of get my head back on straight, and just leaning into that into the Why the Worry theme, again. Yeah.
And the first release from the album is titled Up on the Mountain.
Yeah.
Lovely tune telling us how the mountains can take all your cares away. Was there a specific moment that inspired the song?
Well, I had just moved out there to this place where I'm living, and I don't know, I was recalling, because I lived in New York City for a while up in the city, it's just crazy. And I remember thinking, man, I sure am glad I'm not I'm not in that freaking hive's nest. And so that's kind of inspired. And I was looking out the mountains. I was like, well, let's try this.
I like it.
Shall we
play
do
the
it?
tune for us?
Let's do it.
All right. This is Up on the Mountain from Seth Walker's latest album, Why the Worry. You're tuned in to the Independent Artist Spotlight on 91.7 WSGE.
Up on the mountain, up on the hill, the only place I can be still. If anyone asks for me, don't tell them you seen me. I'll be up on the mountain, up on the hill. I was up in the city, walking down on the square. Taxi cabs and buses, and I was just standing there, looking at the big bright lights and the crazy in the street. I knew then what was calling me up on the mountain, up on the hill. The only place I can be still. If anyone asks for me, don't tell them you seen me. I'll be up on the mountain, up on the hill. When I get to the top, with just the voices within, I'll make a pallet on the floor where I lay down to bed. I may lose touch and I may lose my mind, but either which way, I'll be feeling fine up on the mountain, up on the hill. The only place I can be still. If anyone asks for me, don't tell them you seen me up on the mountain, up on the hill. Up on the mountain. If anyone asks for me, don't tell them you seen me. Up on the mountain, up on the mountain, up on the mountain.
Lovely. That was Up on the Mountain by Seth Walker, live here in the WSGE Studios. You're tuned in to the Independent Artist Spotlight. Seth is going to be at the Evening Muse tonight in Charlotte. If you want more information, you can find it at his website, sethwalker.com. I've noticed that you have resided in some music towns around the country.
Yeah.
Austin, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, New Orleans. You just mentioned New York City.
Yeah.
Are you doing some kind of music town experiment?
Apparently, I guess a serious case of wanderlust. Yeah, I don't know. I've just always. Well, it originally started when I went to East Carolina. We just talked about that earlier, where I enrolled rather, and I heard Stevie Ray Vaughan's music, and that electrified blues, and I was like, I think I should go to Austin, and that's where I got my first record came out. That's where I got all this really going, and then I chased it all around Nashville, New Orleans, New York, back to Nashville, to North Carolina. I think I got
back
it covered.
home.
Back home.
We're so glad you're back home.
The long way home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think all these cities have kind of different vibes when it comes to their music scenes, or?
Oh yes, definitely. And when I lived in each one of them, that they definitely informed. When I listen back, I'm like, oh, I was in Texas.
That was my Texas
That
time.
was my Texas phase. Yeah, it's kind of like, in Texas, it's all about or at least the world I was in, was like, if it don't swing, it don't have the thing. And then Nashville was more concentrating on paying attention, I guess, and writing tunes and the craft, I guess. And then New Orleans was like, almost like, I needed to go to New Orleans to kind of unlearn, get back to why I started doing this in the first place. So they all, and musically, obviously, the mixture of styles probably are still with me. Yeah.
And your childhood you spent here in the Carolinas.
Yeah.
What were you listening to? Because your parents are both musicians.
Yeah, they're classical musicians. So I grew up playing the cello since, I guess they probably propped up a cello in front of me. I was probably 4 or 5. The Suzuki, you're familiar with that? Like
yeah, this
ear
is a
training.
little bit smaller for.
Yeah, it's like there's like an ear training method. Start with like a Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and then you go on up to more advanced. So they were teachers, and well-renowned teachers. So I grew up doing that, but it wasn't until to get back to your question, the first like music I think I heard was probably Willie Nelson. Because my godfather, he loved Willie.
Yeah.
So I remember that was maybe the first music I felt.
Come back around to it.
Yeah, I was like, I felt that.
I like
the first
that.
concert I ever saw was Doc Watson.
Oh, very cool.
My dad took me when I was too young to really remember, but
maybe
I felt it.
Yes, how very Carolinian of you.
That's right.
Where did you see him? Merlefest?
I don't even remember where it was. I have to ask the dad.
Yeah. Another great song we've been enjoying from the album is your rendition of J.J. Cale's Magnolia.
Yeah.
Why did you want to include it on this non-worrisome collection of songs?
Well, it was one of those things where there was no plan at all, really, for this record. I just went in there to just mess around, and this was one of the tunes that I was messing with, and after when I was putting it together, I was like, if it feels good, then it is good for you.
I like that. So. All right, you're tuned into the Independent Artist Spotlight on 91.7 WSGE. Seth Walker here in the studio. Let's hear Magnolia.
All right. Whippoorwill singing, soft summer breeze makes me think of my baby. I left down to New Orleans, left down to New Orleans. Magnolia, you sweet thing, you're driving me mad. Gotta get back to you, baby. You're the best I ever had. You're the best I ever had. You whisper good morning so gently in my ear. Coming home to ya, I soon will be there. I soon will be there. Magnolia, magnolia, magnolia. Magnolia, you sweet thing, you're driving me mad. Gotta get back to you, baby, 'cause you're the best I ever had. You're the best I ever had. Magnolia, magnolia, magnolia. Gotta get back Gotta get back to you now. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Lovely. You're tuned into the Independent Artist Spotlight on 91.7 WSGE. I'm Reagan, joined today by Seth Walker. That was Magnolia from his latest release, Why the Worry. Also happens to be WSGE's Album of the Month in May. He's in town. We'll be performing at the Evening Muse tonight in Charlotte. More info at sethwalker.com. On this most recent album, you've paired up with producer Jano Ricks, who's also percussionist for the Wood Brothers.
Yes.
You've worked with him on several albums. How do you feel like his style complements yours?
Oh gosh, I mean he's. This is ours. One, two. This is our fourth one working together, and through the years, you know, it's like we just learn about each other, more about it, and there's like we got different skills, which helps.
Complementary.
Complementary skills, and we've learned to. We trust each other. We have this saying, when you hear something, say something, or you know if there's something wrong or something right. But he plays, as you mentioned, percussionist. He's amazing piano player and just arranger. And I think one of the most valuable things or special skills about him is like he doesn't produce with an iron fist. It's like he allows the art and the music to come through without being too heavy-handed with his producing. I think that's the way music should be. Organic. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you've worked alongside many artists who we regularly feature on WSGE, including Ruthie Foster.
Ruthie.
I just mentioned
my girl.
Yes. I just mentioned the Wood Brothers. Also,
she's won a Grammy.
She did.
You see that?
Yes. We've been spinning that
She is
album.
amazing. I went to Cuba with her.
Did you
Havana,
really?
Cuba. It was a music trip, just me and her. And 3 days before we got there, Fidel died.
Oh.
And they banned music for like 9 days, any act of celebration. So we were down there at a very unusual time. So we would have these like these ninja covert concerts because they didn't want anyone playing any music. So Ruthie and I are forever bonded by that alone.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
Who were you playing for?
Just like it was like people that had come down. It was like a curated trip for Ruthie and I's fans to come to Havana. And then they were going to incorporate all of the locals as well. So it was our fans that had come, and then just a few selected people would come and then sneak in there. Or I remember there's people that were working in the kitchen, peeking out. And it was cool.
But you didn't get caught.
We didn't get caught. I made it back to the States, but it was pretty wild being there. Beautiful, very a lot of heart and soul. Those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've also written with the Mavericks.
Yeah, with Raul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there any artists that you've yet to collaborate with who you'd like to connect with?
Yeah, Michael Kiwanuka, who you guys play, right?
Yes, we do. I love Michael.
God,
Kiwanuka.
me too.
He's got such a great sound.
God, you know that record, Home Again, the first one?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that was his debut record.
I think so, yeah.
I remember just sitting around the house and doing whatever, listening to that record. And I used to sing that, I'm getting ready to believe. So much so that I actually did a version of it on Why the Worry because it seemed to fit. I just love him. So yeah, if you got his number, call him up, tell him I want to hang. Come on, Reagan.
That would be amazing if I did.
Come on, Reagan.
So what's next for you? You got your tour coming up.
Yeah, I leave on Monday. I'm going to the Big Apple, going back into the belly. And then I'd go Massachusetts, Northampton, Massachusetts, outside of Boston. We're doing like some Pennsylvania shows, Philly shows, a DC show.
East Coast,
Northeast, yeah, the home of the tolls, home of the toll roads. And then that's going to be it for a minute. I do have one weekend in June in North Carolina. I'm playing Asheville on June 20th, Durham on the 21st, and Greensboro on the 22nd. And then taking a break.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's very lovely to hear your music and learn a little bit more about the album. So thanks so much for stopping by.
God, thank you for having me,
Spending
Reagan.
some time with us.
Yeah, appreciate you.
You've been listening to the Independent Artist Spotlight on 91.7 WSGE. I'm Reagan, joined today by Seth Walker. We've been discussing his latest project, which is also WSGE's Album of the Month, Why the Worry. He's in town holding an album release event tonight at the Evening Muse in Charlotte, along with a fellow WSGE artist, Ed Jurdy. If you want more information about the show or maybe some tickets, you can find that at sethwalker.com. All right, how about a little Willie Nelson, since he's on the mind?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.